Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a good morning. I'm just gonna check. I hope I sent out my little email. Um, just let me double check. I think, yes. Okay, good. I'm sorry. I'm running really crazy this morning. I have a closet person that's coming to measure my closets at noon, and they texted me, "Can I be available sooner?" And then I also have one of the workers that works directly with a contractor might be stopping by this morning sometime during my live. And that's always a lot of fun to try and juggle everything. So I'm rushing, careening, trying to get ready for this live, and little fun things are happening in the background. But anyway, I have a fabulous project for you today. And let me just get there we go. Now I can see my screen. I have our super fun project for you today using the Decorative Trees bundle. And it's this little Christmas tree ornament. And I love that it uses the full bundle. We've got the little greeting on the back, a very Merry Christmas from the stamp set. And this little box opens up and it can hold about 4 Hershey's Kisses. Now I'll show you this box when it's flat, so the kisses don't fall out when I open it, but it's fairly easy to make using kind of my general box making technique, but it's super cute. And this one will hang nicely on the Christmas tree. It is a little larger than the star one that we did last week, and it's larger than the little gingerbread house, but also a handmade ornament that opens up. And so another option for you on your Christmas tree. And I made them in different ones. The Decorative Trees bundle is a fun bundle because it has a whole bunch of different overlays that you can use. Now this one, I put gold foil sheet behind it. Isn't that pretty? And then that's a green star. And it uses all the supplies that I use will be listed down below in the description of the video and over on my blog. And this morning I didn't get a chance to finish, even start my project sheet. But if you want a project sheet for this, just make sure that you're on my email list. The link is down below in the description of the video. And here's another one. I really love this one, this blue and white one. But you could do this one if you don't want a blue Christmas tree. You could do the white overlay like on a red tree or a green tree. It doesn't have to be a blue tree, but I love blue with white snowflakes. I've always have, so I had to make a blue tree. And then this tree also can be a little bit more neutral. It's like more like a wintry tree, but I did put a very Merry Christmas on the back, and I embossed it in white embossing powder. So that is really fun. I'm going to show you how to make this little tree today. I already told you about my project sheet. Now, if you've never seen one of my project sheets, I grabbed one that I had last week. This is not the project sheet you're going to be getting, but this is a sample of my project sheet with a photo, supply list, written instructions, and then on the second page I will have a diagram for you so that you can see what the cut pieces are supposed to look like. It just really helps. And then between that and the video, you should be able to make this project, and I hope you will, because it is a really fun project. I love that this is also an ornament, you know, so it can hang on different things. So let me show you how to make it. I'm just going to jump in because I have a feeling that craziness is brewing in the background and I might need to stop. The front door is open for the worker to come in, but I feel like I might need to pop in over there if they do come. So let's just get started. Oh, one thing, real quick thing. I do have a host code this month. There it is. And if you spend $50 with me this month and use the host code, and that $50 is before shipping and tax are added, then you will receive the Regal foil dots, and they will be mailed to you in November with your thank you card. So if you're planning on placing an order, don't forget to use that host code. And the host code is always available over on my blog in case you're looking for it. Okay, let's get started on this project. So we are using the Decorative Trees bundle, and it comes with a bunch of different die overlays that you can use. And these ones here, these two smaller ones right here, they don't work that well for this tree because they're a little shorter than the tree is. So I would use the bigger overlays, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you can decorate the tree up however you want with these bows and garlands and ornaments. So there's lots of different options to decorate these trees with this bundle. And I use this a Very Merry Christmas stamp, and it is triangle shaped, which is perfect for stamping on the back of your tree. Okay, let's just take a quick look at the box. So if you open, this one has kisses in it, and it holds about 4. That looks kind of nice the way they all are kind of stacked inside of there. So 4 kisses fits really nicely in here. And then, of course, you can hang this on your tree and it looks really cute. Or hang it somewhere else. You know, if you're giving these out to co-workers, they can hang them on their bulletin board or anything that's, you know, protruding and sticking out. They've got a little tree to decorate up their office space, or, you know, different places like nursing homes and things like that. They may have like a spot to hang these. I will say that, just a little caveat, these can stand on the trunks, but because this part of the tree is up higher, it's not a very stable stand up surface. Like you have to balance it. So just keep that in mind. Now, if it tips, it's only going to tip over a little bit onto its side. It's not going to tip completely over. But in terms of like having a super solid base for keeping this as a standing tree, it will stand, but caveat, it might tilt to the side a little bit. So I do like this a little bit better as a hanging tree. Okay, we're going to get right in here and just get started on making this. So I am going to start off with scoring the sides, and you're going to need an 8-inch piece by 1 1/4, 8 by 1 1/4 piece, and I use the same color as my front. The main color on my front is what I use for the sides. That's basically how I decide how to do the tree. Okay, let me grab my scoring tool. Let me make that straight for you. First, we're going to score this on the short side. So this is a 1 1/4 inch length. So we're going to score at the 1-inch mark all the way down. Then we're going to turn that skinny scored segment, and I just put it up towards the top of the scoring board. And then we're going to score at the 3-inch mark, the 6-inch mark, and the 7 3/4 inch mark. I don't know if I can get a really good angle on here. Maybe you can see this a little bit. Of course, I will have a diagram in the project sheet, and we'll cut it up in a second and you'll see everything better. We're going to do the bottom sides of the box now. So this piece, same color, Poppy Parade, we're going to start with 7 5/8 by 1 1/4. 7 5/8 by 1 1/4. Put the short side up at the top, and we're score at the 1-inch mark, just like the first piece. Now we're going to put the skinny scored segment up at the top, and we'll score at the 2 7/8, the 5 3/4, and the 7 3/8. Okay, and that's all there is to the scoring. Let's prep up these pieces. It doesn't matter which one you start with, but I'll start with the longer one. They both prep the same way. You're going to look for that little tiny square in the corner. We're going to cut it away on an angle so it creates a little tabs here. I'm going to cut that one like that. Then there are two other tabs that we need to cut right along those score lines. So this one I'm going to do a regular one, just kind of one of my regular V's. It looks like this. Now this one right here is going to be the top of the tree. It's on either side, there's the 2 3-inch scored segments, okay, and it's away from the short end. This one we're going to make the V a lot broader. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to do this and this. The reason for that is when these overlap up at the top, you want to make sure that they don't stick out on the ends. Maybe I can show you on this one if we don't do that, and I'll show you what that looks like when we fold it together. Okay, so go ahead and cut away the little corner square like we did before, and I'll do this as a normal V. Both of these pieces should be cut in the same way, but I'm going to just do a little experiment here. I'll show you. This one I'm going to just cut as a normal V, and when I fold this together, I'm going to fix it in just a second. And if I were to fold these down, I won't glue this piece yet because it's easier to do it when it's not. Okay, so we're going to glue these together as a triangle. But you can see right here, right up at the top, this piece is going to have trouble folding in because this is like too big, and it's not going to fold in properly because these little guys are going to kind of try, and this one's bumping up against the side. So that's why we need to make this one bigger. I'm going to put on the diagram, I'm going to put a little note with an arrow saying cut this one a little wider. So if we do, instead of your normal V, if we just make that one, just that one, a little bit broader, then we don't run into that problem. And then it's kind of taken care of right away. So now if we come back and test this, and this will be like this, it's going to fold up properly. Okay, that's why we do that one just a little tiny bit bigger. Okay, so now with both of these, you're going to fold along the score lines just like I did with this one, and we're going to start by gluing that side tab into place. Sorry for my light. I do have a piece of poster board up, but the sun is shifting as I do this video. So just that side tab first, and we're going to bring this over and just line this up. Oh, we've got to cut that end one on an angle. I want to do that too. That will be on the diagram so you can see and you can remember right away to cut it on an angle. Okay, so there's number one done. And see this end piece, we also need to cut that one on an angle, so it looks more like a tab. Okay, then let's fold this along the score lines. And if you want to, you can take a bone folder and reinforce these. It makes them crisper. Just depends how much time you have. This morning it seems like I'm rushing. I'm sorry. It's just been a morning. All right, let's bring in that side tab and we're gonna glue this. Kind of like to do it from this side. Kind of after a while you find like which side you like to glue things on. And remember, the first time you make a project, it's gonna be more difficult. It's gonna take a little while to get used to the project. So if you're making like 20 of these, the first one is gonna take a little longer, and the next one will get better, and the next one will get better. So just remember that too. Sometimes when you start out with something, it takes a little while. And I know that I'm pretty good at paper crafting stuff, but I've been crocheting for a while, but I don't do it, I only do it for a little bit. every week, and so I have to always remind myself I'm not doing it as much as I should to really learn things. So it takes me a little longer, and my projects might not look as polished as some, but I love the process of learning and getting better. Okay, so we've got these two sides prepped for the top and the bottom. Now we just need to prep some trees to go on top of these. So one of the things I recommend, especially with these trees, because they've got a lot of intricate die cut work. Sorry, the light's shining in there. These are Stampin' Up! Adhesive sheets. So you can peel off the back. I usually take, depending on what I am doing, I took a piece, I cut this down to 6 by 3. It's got adhesive on both sides. I peeled off the little strips and I added it to the back of a piece of 6 by 3 cherry cobbler cardstock. Okay, so now once I cut this, I'm going to be able to peel off the back and I won't have to deal with Tombow. Now I do love Tombow, but these little pieces have really tiny little lines. This one I could do with Tombow. When I did this one with Tombow, I just put Tombow on the back, I flipped it over and I let it dry. And that way there was no glue oozing through, but it still stuck really well. So that's another way. But this also, this plaid piece is also kind of intricate. So I love prepping a piece with adhesive sheet and then doing it. So I'm just gonna put that out there. I think I forgot to put this on my supply list, which is really bad, but let me just tell you right now, it's 152334. I'll try and remember to add it to the project sheet so that you have the item number. Okay, let's grab our mini stamp and cut and emboss machine. These do fit through the mini, so that's a nice thing. If you don't have a die cutting machine and you need one for this project, the mini machine will work. So I'm just going to tell you, some machines are tight and it tells you to use the number 1. And if that works, great. But if it starts to it doesn't want to go through nicely, switch to your number 3 plate. It also comes with your machine, and use that as your base plate instead of your number 1 plate. So to do die cutting, you're going to need a a base plate, either a number 1 or a number 3. You're going to use a clear plate on the top and one on the bottom. So we're going to pop this in here. This is a piece, remember, a piece of cherry cobbler that I prepped. And we're going to use this die right here. And it's got that adhesive sheet on the back. So we're just going to take this and we're going to take this. You can scoot this down as far as possible to maximize our adhesive sheets. Okay. And I'm going to run this through. You know what? I just want to make sure this is all the way on the cherry cobbler. I saw it hanging off a little bit. Okay. All right, now it's gone through. With these intricate dies, you are going to want to run it through once, come on back, and then for good measure, if you want to, you can go through and do this one and come back again. It doesn't hurt, because just the fact that you're squeezing it a couple extra times or 3 extra times is going to help with all of these little pieces coming out. So this is what it looks like on the back. And then we'll deal with that in a second. Let's cut. We're going to also need our poppy parade piece, and this one we're going to do. This is the big tree piece you need. You need this piece for sure, because that is going to cover up your front. Okay. And the decorative piece is just the decorative piece, right? So if you were doing these with kids, you could just go ahead and do some plain, maybe green pieces or whatever. Ask them what colors you want for the front. And I would just cut these pieces, and then I would let them go to town with glitter and any like embellishments or anything like that you had, and you could let them decorate their own tree front instead of doing the die cutting. I think that would be really fun. You're also going to cut yourself an extra piece for the back, because you're going to need one for the front and one for the back. So I already cut an extra piece, and I like to just go ahead and cut the back piece and stamp it afterwards, because it's pretty easy. This is a photopolymer stamp. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Cherry Cobbler. Cherry Cobbler is darker than Poppy Parade, and it's also the color of what we're going to use for the front. And I'm sorry about the light coming through. It's shifting. And when I get my studio back in a couple weeks, when I'm able to film over there again, I could have filmed over there this morning since no one's pounding above my studio this morning, but I just never know. And I can't keep moving my equipment back and forth. So I am now entrenched in what I call Studio 2 for my filming. And then I run back and forth between the two studios. Okay, so that was just a very simple stamping. And the Cherry Cobbler is nice and dark on the back of there, and it works perfectly. Remember, you could also emboss, like I did this one in gold here, which is really pretty. But sorry about the light, you know, it is pretty. But if you want to take an extra step out of the way, then just instead of bossing, just do the stamping. There's always ways to simplify things, especially if you're going to do many of these, right? Or go to town and do more. That's fine too. So with this one, I kind of like to poke things out while it's still in my die, because I find it's just a little bit easier. I don't want to sit here and poke everything out and get all of these pieces out. Like you can, you know, just go to town with a piercer, or if you have one of those tools with the brush on the end, you can do that. But basically you take all of those little pieces out. They should come out fairly easily because we did like the back and forth. And then you would take this out. Let me just poke, come here. Let's just take this off the back here. So you would then peel off the backing off of this side, and then you would adhere it to the tree. Okay. I actually have one made. So I am going to go ahead and use that one, because this morning I feel like things are going to come to a head right when I need to not be interrupted. I think I'm going to get interrupted. So I am just going to go ahead and pretend that I did everything on camera for you. So this is my front and this is my back. And of course, this was the extra tree we cut for the front, but we don't need it now. And so you're just going to need to find, if you've done both of your boxes, look for the bigger box. And we're going to use that for the front, because you want the front to have the decorative tree part. Okay, so we're just going to kind of just open this up a little bit. And we're going to put glue on the tabs. And since they overlap a little bit, I'm just going to kind of sneak under and get underneath to make sure all of those have glue on them. Okay, and then I'm putting, this is the front and this is the bigger one, and I'm going to start down at the bottom. I want to line up this bottom, and the way I'm going to line it up, I'm going to show you in just a second how I want you to line it up. Okay, I want it centered, and you can kind of really eyeball that really well, because there's two little bumps in the tree trunk, and that will help you eyeball what you want to do. And then you're going to come up and you're going to line up the top of your tree with a point. But I just want to show you this bottom. You can kind of see it's pretty easy to center along there. You're going to want to make sure that the bottom of your tree doesn't stick out below the front of the tree, right? So you don't want to see the box on this side. So you just want to put it just right touching on the corners. It's touching here, and you're going to see a little bit of a scallop bump on either side and that tree trunk. And then you're up at the top here, you can use your stylus tool, would be really good here, to press down on that end right there where the tabs are, just to help them. And the rest of the way, use a finger and just press down on those tabs. But right at that tippy top, you can use a little pressure with your stylus tool to get right into that pointed end. And that's all there is to it. It's a very simple triangle box. Okay? Now we're going to do the same thing for the back piece. So let's flip this over. And then we're going to put glue on these tabs again. This time the placement's going to be just a little bit up from the other one. So whereas this one, it was touching, this one we're going to go just a teeny tiny bit up. We're going to be not touching, probably I would want to say maybe about a 1/16 of an inch from touching the edge on either side. I'm just kind of eyeballing the bottom, shifting it till I like where it looks. Okay. That looks good. I'm just gonna press there, and then we're gonna bring this down and we'll put the point right there. Come in with my stylus tool, give it a little press, and then press with my fingers along those. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And then this, fingers crossed, should fit in there like that. Now, you don't have to turn this into an ornament. It doesn't have to be one. But if you're going to turn it into an ornament, this is what I suggest you do. You're going to take a piercer and you're just going to poke yourself a tiny hole on the tree front. Poke yourself a tiny hole about halfway along here. Okay. And then you're going to get a little threader. You might have one in your sewing kit if you have a sewing kit. You're going to take some linen thread. I actually really like linen thread for this project because linen thread is a tiny bit stiff. And sometimes, like baker's twine, it can be a little bit floppy. So when I photograph these little guys, they want to stand up, so they're kind of perky, and they just work well. The other thing with this is this color is very neutral, so it works with whatever tree color. So you don't have to worry that it's not going to match your color scheme. Linen thread is fairly neutral, but you could also color it with Stampin' Blends if you would like. In fact, this star right here, this one is a white glimmer paper star. I don't know if you can see, but that can also be colored with Stampin' Blends. So if you don't have a color in glimmer paper that you want, get a piece of the white one, cut a star out of it, and then you should be, and I forgot to bring my little as your afternoon star over. I did do one in blue, but then I decided just to go with the white one. So, okay, I've been talking and not telling you what I'm doing. I cut a 7.5-inch length of the linen thread. And it could be 8 inches, it could be 7 inches. This one, I just ended up making 7.5 inches. And you're going to tie yourself a knot down at the end. If you want all of yours to be uniform, you just kind of make them all at the same time, line them up. Okay, I'm just finicking now. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, let's just scoot that away. We're going to stick our little threader. Someone said, told me also flossers work. So just whatever works for you, because I could not thread this without a threader. It just would be too difficult. And it's also a very narrow area. So you just want to come in here with your threader. Mine's really, I want to say my threader has seen better days. So it's like hanging on by, my threader's hanging on by a thread. And it's had a little bit of paper crafting abuse. Okay. Okay, I got it. One of these days I'm gonna have to replace it. It actually, one of its sides is kind of loose, so it's not doing well. All right, I pulled it through, and now I'm gonna tie an extra little knot up at the top just to kind of finish the top. You don't have to do this though, because I don't think it's really gonna go anywhere. But that knot's all the way in, and then you just wanna make sure, if you're gonna do that extra knot, you wanna bring it all the way down. Come on. Last night, this was like really easy. And this morning, it's kind of fumbly. Okay, so you see, it's nice. It's got some nice stiffness to it, right? And so it just kind of, it stays up. So that looks nice too. Okay, and then you want to have a star. And there is this festive glimmer paper, and it has 2 shades of green, and it has a red. I think I'm going to do a green star for my red tree just to make it pop a little bit more. I need to bring back in our little mini Stampy emboss. I cut this piece to 3/4 of an inch, and then we'll just grab the star. It comes with the Decorative Trees bundle, so you already have your star. Then we're just going to die cut this just like we did the other one, just the same sandwich. And there is my little tiny and cute glimmer star. I think that just makes it really easy to decorate. I could have stuck a whole bunch more embellishments on this tree. I could have. Okay, so this right here helps your box stay in place because it has a little bit of a knot, right? But I have a little bit too much string on the end, so I'm going to cut off a little bit of the excess, okay? And then now when I go to close this up, this is just going to help hold your box in place, like with the kisses, so they don't come out unexpectedly. Okay, all right, so we'll grab, oh, I've got my person is here. That is supposed to be coming today, so my video is going to careen very short to the end. Take a mini glue dot and stick it on here. All right, and voila, that is your box. And here are all the boxes. They're super cute. And of course, you can put 4 Hershey's Kisses in them. I won't do that for you, but you can see they fit in really easily. And then you have your little Christmas tree boxes. So I am going to try and finish off real quick here because I have people coming in and I need to talk to them, and I really apologize for this. Just really, everyone's running late this morning and it's really hard to schedule things and squeeze the live in and everything. So I will have a project sheet, 2 project sheets for you this weekend, one on Saturday and one on Sunday. This one will come out on Saturday, and then I have the fancy fold I did earlier this week will be coming out on Sunday. Let me say hello to all of you real quick that have joined me this morning. Good morning, Valerie. Oh, Valerie, I have to tell you, your book recommendation, I am listening to one of the books you recommended. It's really good. I'll email you what I'm reading. Okay, and good morning, Birgit. Good morning, Judy. Good morning, Deborah. She says, 68 days till Christmas. That's awesome. I haven't, yeah. Christmas. I'm making all of these things for Christmas, and I haven't even thought about Christmas for my family. So that's the way it goes. The shoemakers kids don't have any shoes, right? I say hello, Judy. She says, very cute box. Hello, Estelle. And she's visiting her son in New Jersey. That's awesome. Good morning, Kim from Canada. Hello, Lois. She says, adorable boxes. Good morning, Nancy. She says that she has that set on order, so she'll be making these ornaments as well to add to the gingerbread house and Starbucks. The children at the preschool will love them. Oh, that's great. You know what? If I have a moment, I'm going to run and get the other ornaments so I can show you the size difference real quick. Estelle says, love your project sheets. Melissa says, hello from Florida. Hello, Linda. Good morning, Deborah from Pennsylvania. Hello, Heather from New Zealand. She says she's been up early watching the America's Cup. Oh, and she says this is the first time she's caught me live. And she says she loves what I'm making. Thank you. That's so sweet, Heather. I love that you're in a totally different part of the world, totally different time zone. I hope the America's Cup is enjoyable. Hello, Marty. Hello, Corrine. Hello, Louise, who says, great project. Mary says, late today, but she'll watch the replay. And she says, cute box. Heather says, good morning from north of Boston. Oh, that's so cool. You and I, we probably don't live too far from each other if you're there living rather than on vacation. I'm in Sudbury, Massachusetts. So hello. Hello, Laura. And she said she feels for me with a remodel. I tell you, craziness abounds. Craziness abounds for sure. Linda says, where can I find your address? You can just email me. My email address is right here. Let me pop that up on the screen. BrendaQStamps@gmail.com. And so, yeah, you can email me for that. And Linda is also from Massachusetts. Oh my gosh, we've got lots of Massachusetts people here this morning. I'm glad you're watching. Okay, so that's my email address. And also, we do have a starter kit special this month. So that is if you're planning on placing an order and it's close to $100, I say just go ahead and get the starter kit. I'm going to run to the other room and grab my other ornaments just to show you the size differences, okay? Okay, I ran over, got to talk to the worker real quick, but I wanted to show you, I'm going to switch cameras real quick here. And I just want to show you the sizes of these different boxes. I hate this light in here. There's not a whole lot I can do. Okay, let's just do these 3. So there's no distractions right here. Okay, so we've got the star box, the Christmas tree box, and then we've got this, oh, what are you doing? Got the little gingerbread house right there. Okay, so that is the size difference between the 3. But you know, just like on a Christmas tree, you want to have different size ornaments. You don't all want them to be the same size and shape. I just wanted to show you, since I've been doing a bunch of ornaments, I wanted to show you what the 3 different sizes were. So the Christmas tree is a little bit bigger. Okay, so I'll just pop back over here. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I really appreciate it. And watch for my project sheets this weekend. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. All of that helps me, and I appreciate all of you. Have a great weekend, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.